In November 2004, Cameron Malrunji Doomadgee, a popular 36-year-old father, was arrested by a white policeman, Chris Hurley, who claimed Cameron had been swearing and charged him with being a public nuisance. 45 minutes later, Cameron Malrunji Doomadgee was dead in a police cell from severe internal injuries, which were later compared in court to those of a plane crash victim. The community wanted answers, but police kept quiet. 100 of Cameron's friends and family gathered to hear the autopsy results read out. Their grief and frustration grew into a riot. The Queensland government declared Palm Island a state of emergency and riot police were flown in. Senior Sergeant Chris Hurley was eventually acquitted of manslaughter.
I rang the police station. One sergeant answered and then he handed me over to Hurley. And Hurley said, "Who are you?" I told him my name. He said, "What relationship are you to the prisoner?" I said, "That's my brother." And then there was a long silence and then said he couldn't talk to anyone at the moment and they hung up. I didn't know how he died. And then I found out through that and I just broke down. When we had to go to the legal case, it was like a circus. We didn't know where we stood. We thought we won at one case and then got dropped again. And when he got acquitted, that just tore us out. We just didn't know what to do. We thought the police were there to protect us, and bring out the culprit. How do you accept an apology from the government after he lost a life? I couldn't accept it. Is that so he was going to bring my brother back? Because that's all we wanted. My brother was a hunter, very kind and gentle, and share everything. Made a lot of friends. Hardly got in trouble with anything, police, anybody else. Yeah, he was a good father. He's godfather to my children. Well, when you see Cameron, you'll see me behind him. I'm always following him. And all my friends were his friends, and his friends were my friends. So miss him so much. When I do miss him, I talk to my daughters. We'll have a good laugh, about memories. Because he was comical, really larrikin. Always make everybody laugh. He was my rock. I just want to keep his memory alive. But I was born here, and my family are buried here, but I won't leave now. I think that's what's holding me here. I wouldn't want it any other way, but yeah, I feel more comfortable here, knowing that they're here.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been 20 years since that devastating incident. I want to chat about whether that still has an impact today here on Palm Island. Does the incidents of 2004, then what happened after that, does it still impact Palm Islanders today, Alf?
I've always been of the view, in regards to the hate and the pain that has happened, the community continues to pick itself and keep on moving. Also, the important thing for us for the 20th anniversary is to remember Mulrunji himself, regardless of what has transpired. I think it's really important for the 20th anniversary that we as a community, and particularly the next generation, remember Mulrunji for who he was.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. Yes, there was a very sad time for this community. The community responded accordingly, but at the same time, the community also stood up and continued to lift our heads high and keep on going, and I think that was in how I look at those events. It was really important, particularly for this next generation.
Robert, what ripple effect did that incident have on the current generation or the younger generation here on Palm Island?
I think some of that will be felt, for years and years to come. There were young people who were affected by the riot police. Members of my family were, the police came around to our place at Pencil Bay. They'd heard that I'd taken some photographs documenting events around what was going on with the gatherings. And they came around with their guns, and they made it abundantly clear that I should cooperate. And, that's left my niece traumatised, and, I've been working through it myself. So I think there's a lot of distrust still. Here on Palm Island, we continue on. I see some of those people grown up now who were kids when they had guns held to their heads, and without reaching their confidences, they are suffering from PTSD.
Yeah, it's just horrific. But saying for that younger generation, right? We're talking about a younger generation of Aboriginal kids, but a young generation of Australians who should never have had to experience that. Does it still have an impact on that younger generation here living on Palm Island?
Some of them remember, some don't, but I think we're really trying our best to work with the police and then to build that relationship, and hopefully that our kids don't get to experience that ever again. Just that cultural awareness when they do come in, our officers or anybody that comes into our community to work or whatever, like they have that cultural awareness and understand what they bring to the table in regards to us as a people, because we do want to work with them. And what has happened, like the